Hi there everyone and welcome back to another video. It occurred to me the other day that we do have a lot of new players that have joined us on Battlefield 2042 over the last few weeks. In no small part, obviously, to the fact that it went free on PSN and a lot of new players will have been trying it out. Obviously the game itself is in a good place, but it has been a long time since I did an absolute beginner's video. And I do get a lot of questions really just asking how to set up a server and get a game started, and you might not be one of those people that wants to delve deep into the logic editor, but you might want to set up a server for you and your friends to play around in, or just have a little bit of a better understanding of how the whole thing works. So in this video I'm going to give you a very quick introduction to Portal and how to set up your own server, and maybe just mess around with the settings a little bit. This won't be an in-depth video, it will be quite a short one, just to cater for those people that need a very quick introduction on how to get things running. As always, if you like this video, please do click the like button, and if you haven't done already and you really want to give me your support, please consider clicking the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's really very helpful to me and my channel. So let's get cracking and see how you can get your own server set up in Battlefield 2042 Portal. So before we take a look at the web builder, it is worth taking a moment to have a look at what Portal offers us inside the game first, because it is possible to create your own game mode or at least start your own server without having to go through the web builder at all. So you can see here we are in the game. I've just got the Portal menu open. We've got the first two options just there. Those are the two rotating weekly modes. Sometimes creators get their modes put there. They're not private servers or your own server. Those are publicly run servers by DICE. But you can join on those and you'll see some of the more popular modes rotated in and out of those, and some interesting or unique modes. If we just move across a little bit, the next thing you'll see there is the browse button. Yes, we have a server browser, not a server browser that you would find in previous Battlefields, but this shows all of the servers that other users, other players are currently running. You'll find a range of different servers running there with different game modes that have been set up by other users. Just click on the button, the X button, to join those as you would do through the normal game modes. Now, if we just go back and move into the host section, this is the bit that I guess the vast majority of people need to know a little bit more about. And I'm just going to take a moment to run through the options that you've got here. So at the top, you have a range of tabs. You've got My Experiences, Official Experiences, Custom Experiences, and an Experience Code. And Portal offers you really three different ways of running your own server, or three different ways of setting up your own server. The first one is My Experiences. If you create any game modes in the web builder, which we will have a look at in a moment, any of those game modes will be listed under the My Experiences tab. The process for starting your own server is really quite simple as well. Just select the experience that you want to start or host, click the X button to host it, and you'll be presented with another options screen before you begin. There are a bunch of options down the right hand side. You can fill in a title. That will be the title that appears on the main loading screen of the server. There's also an option to enter a description, which also appears on the main loading screen, and then a couple of other options down the right hand side as well. Just worth mentioning that if you want this server to be private, that is, you only want people you have selected to be able to join, you must set a password. All servers hosted through Portal are public and they will be listed in the server browser and anyone can join. So if you're just after setting up a server or a game mode with just you and your friends able to play, or maybe you're playing competitive as a squad or a platoon or something like that, don't forget, you must set a password and share that password with everyone you want to be able to join, and that will ensure that it keeps the server private and only you can play in that. Once you're ready and everything has been filled in correctly, go down to the bottom, click X to start the server, and there you go. Your server will start up and it will be ready for anyone you want to be able to join. Now, option number two, if you want to run your own server, is to just use one of the pre-built experiences or game modes that have been built for you already by DICE and are built into the game itself. So if you have a look at the next two tabs, you've got a tab that says official experiences and custom experiences. These game modes are pre-made and are already set up and good to go. You can host these game modes on your own server. So if you select the official experiences, and let's say you want to play a game of Rush, you'll see that under Total Rush just there, and you can select that game mode. You can't customize it anyway, it is how it comes built. But you can start up your own server, just click X to host and you're good to go. And if you move over to the custom experiences, you'll see that there are already a bunch of pre-made game modes in there. So we've got Team Deathmatch, obviously, and then we've got some Gunmaster games, Infection, if that's your thing, and a few hardcore modes in there as well. So once again, you don't need to go anywhere near the editor. These game modes are already pre-built, and if you're happy with the way that those are set up and you just want to have a go, you feel free, just click on one of those game modes, click X to host. Don't forget to set a password if you want to keep this server private, and your game mode will be up and running. And then option number 3, before we go back and have a quick look at the web builder and set up our own experiences, is to use an experience code. Now, any experience that anybody sets up, any game mode that anybody sets up through the web builder, gets an experience code produced for that particular mode. All you've got to do is go across to the experience code tab, enter the experience code that you have either been given or found, and then click on confirm, and that will pull all the details from the experience that they have set up and allow you to run it. So for example, I have just finished a game mode called Uplink. The experience code for that is AA42G. And I'll just put that up on the screen. Why not use that as your first experience code? Give it a go, try hosting it yourself, play with some friends, and just see how that works. It really is that simple. Another shout out, by the way, for bfportal.gg. bfportal.gg is an excellent resource if you just want some experience codes, if you want to try out new game modes. Lots of the creators that have been working in Portal for quite a long time have their game modes listed on that website. Just select one of the game modes that you want to have a look at, and it will provide you with an experience code, and away you go. Sometimes the creators on there will also share the link to the code to edit it. That's not the focus of this video, but yeah, if you want to, go over to bfportal.gg and you'll find lots of pre-built game modes already there. And in all of those, from the experience code, custom experience, and official experiences, there's no need to go anywhere near the web builder or the editor, but I suspect that many of you will want to do that. So let's whip over to the web builder and have a really quick introduction to how you set up your own server using that particular method. So here we are now at portal.battlefield.com, and if you want to customize your own server and create something new, you will need an account. I'm already signed into my account, obviously, here to get started. It's free to set up. Just get yourself over to portal.battlefield.com and you can start customizing your game modes. If you link it to your gamer tag or your PSN ID, all of the game modes that you create will show up under that My Experiences tab in the game once you have created them. You don't actually need to own the game to be able to have an account and start setting up game modes for other people. Obviously, I'm not sure why you would do that, but maybe somebody somewhere wants to. So if you haven't got Battlefield 2042 yet, first of all, why not? But second of all, you can go on and create an account and start messing around with the web builder without that. It's a total separate entity. So once again, portal.battlefield.com and get yourself an account set up. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, you are going to see, first of all, these 3 sections just here. And if I click on the Battlefield 1942 option just very quickly, you will see that I go straight into a kind of standard setup. You can see we've got 2 maps already added there. I'm not going to spend any time here because I want to look at the custom stuff, so I'm just going to go back out of there. But if you want a template already available, you can select one of these and you'll get a basic setup to start molding your own experience from. In addition to that, these are my experiences, the ones that I've created down there. But if you look just across, you are going to see that there are several templates available. If you want to mess around with a template, if you're not quite sure where to start with your own server, so you want to set up your own private server in the game, but you don't necessarily want to mess around with it too much. You can start with a template. So I will just take a tank superiority template, for example, and you can see it has pre-populated a lot of the options. If we look under the map rotation, you can see it's added some maps with some further maps available, and other options are already filled in for us. You can see that they've even included some custom rules just in the rules editor, which we're not going to go anywhere near or make any edits, but you can see that this template is fully complete. Once you've made any alterations that you want to the template, all you need to do is click the little settings button at the top right hand corner, name your game mode. So let's put in tank superiority, spell it right, that would be helpful, and the description here, and then click the create button, and that server will appear under your My Experiences tab in the game. And if we have a quick look here, you'll see that it's also appeared just there in the portal editor as well. So that server is ready to go. You'll find that in the game. If we just have a look in the game, you'll see that there now. Just see the option available, just click on it and get ready to host. And then finally, we have the option of creating our own. I have to say, creating your own basic server with just some options of your own is very simple, so don't be too concerned about it. If we click on create something new, you're going to go back into the web builder, but now nothing has been pre-populated and we can select what we want. Just a little overview of what you're seeing first. These are all the options that are available to you in the web builder. You'll notice that these are all grayed out because they don't become available until we select a game mode. We have the option of choosing the core game modes, which are Rush, Conquest and Conquest Large, or the custom game modes, which are Team Deathmatch, Vehicle TDM, Free for All, Custom Conquest, Air Superiority and Ground Superiority. The only difference between the core and the custom is that the custom game modes allow you to use the rules editor. But seeing as how we are not going to be using the rules editor, we are just going to select the core game mode and have a look at some of the options and get ourselves started. So let's have a quick look at Rush. So we're going to have ourselves a game of Rush. We're going to skip over to the map rotation, which is the next option, and you can see we can have up to 20 maps. We'll just add a couple of maps, and as we add the maps, you'll see that all of the rest of the details and options become available to us. Now, it would be too long a video if I went through all of these options and modifiers, so I'm just going to pick out a few details that you might find useful. The first thing that you might want to have a look at is the overall game mode details. These are kind of the standard overall options, so you can see we can have the number of human players that are going to be available in the server. You'll see a lot of these little link symbols on the side. If we click that link, we can then unbalance things, so we can have 5 people on one side if we want, or let's go the other way, let's have 31 players versus 1. We can also bump up the player count, obviously all the way up to 128. Just worth pointing out that 128 players isn't available on the old gen machine, so your game mode won't work on old gen machines if you set it to higher than 64. Just going to turn the link back on. You can see we can set the game time, sliding these sliders forwards and backwards. Also, this is the number of seconds. If you're after a little bit more detail about what a particular slider does, let's just go there. You can type in there if it's not going exactly where you want it to go. If you just click on the little eye at the top of each box or each option, you'll get a little further information just there. So you can see there's lots of options here. We won't go through them. I have done videos on setting up things like increasing ticket counts and stuff like that. So if you want some basic tutorials, some basic guides on some of those things, feel free to check out my other videos and you can have a little browse around. The other thing that you might be interested in is the modifiers. So you can see there are a bunch of modifiers just down here. If we click, you can see each one of these just gives you some options for the gameplay, and we've got options for soldiers and so on. So we've got man down type, for example. You can see if we click on the little drop down box, we can set it so that they die instantly. They are downed, which is typical behavior in game, or you can set it to crawl so they can crawl when they're downed. And you can see there are a bunch of other options that are available to you to toggle on and off. not forgetting the little link button if you want to have one side have the option to have something that the other one does not. One final little mention just down here to the AI. The AI, there are 3 options for AI. So if you want to set up your own test server, and in that test server you want AI to be there and you don't want any other players, so you just want to maybe have 4 of your friends in that server playing against AI in your own custom setup, then the way to do that would be to go into the core game mode details. Make sure that you've got the maximum human players set to low. We can push all of the human players onto one side. And then if we go back into the AI modifiers, you can see that we have PvE AI, which is player versus environment. That is where you just play against AI, and because we've set the human count to 4, you'll get 4 human players on team 1, and you can push these sliders up and add more or less AI. So if we want all of the AI on team 2, if we've got the game mode details set to have 4 players on team 1, human players, and then under the modifiers we have 60 AI on team 2, well, that's where you're going to get 4 of your mates against 60 AI. It's worth spending a little bit of time going through all of the options, maybe do some experimenting with some of the settings and see what you get. One final mention on the use of AI. If you set up a server in Portal, you will get full XP unless you use the AI option. As soon as you add AI to the server, that automatically reduces your XP to the lowest possible. And also if you use the rules editor, which we aren't going to take a look at now. Last but not least, under restrictions, this is where you can select either to have the teams that are playing as the default for the map. So if you've got a 2042 map, you get 2042 players. Or if you want some more customization over which characters, weapons, etc. are available, if you select a team for each map, you can see now we've got Battlefield 2042 on both sides, and we've opened up the further options to allow or disallow, well, just about everything. So let's say you're not a fan of RAW, we can switch off RAW for team 1, switch off RAW for team 2, and then we don't have him in the game anymore. Everything's listed underneath the options, so you can see there are plenty of options. Let's say you want a server with just shotguns, disable everything else other than shotguns, and you can have yourself a run around with shotguns. Maybe you just want pistols, who knows. But you can see if you just tick the little tick boxes, let's go all the way, let's keep going. We've just got shotguns, there we go. So the only weapons available in this server to players are going to be the shotguns. You can do the same for the vehicles and the gadgets and the attachments. We're not going to go through that again. We've done some videos earlier on that. So that's it. You want to set up your own server. You want to customize your own game mode. Get over to portal.battlefield.com, sign up for an account, create an experience, select the options that you want from the left hand side, select the game mode that you want, and then select the options down the left hand side. All of that can be done, and you can create some crazy game modes. I'm going to do a video on Squid G's Rush Chaos. Squid G's Rush Chaos can be done quite easily without touching the rules editor, as can plenty of other very interesting game modes. Once you've created your game mode, if you want it to appear in your My Experiences tab, all you've got to do is click the save icon, give it a name. So we will call this sample for YouTube because I want to delete it afterwards. We type in a description, delete this. Both of these will appear on the load screen, and we'll have a look at that in a minute in the game once you start the server. Once you're ready and you're happy, you click the create button. And you can see, there we go, we have restricted XP. That's because I've put the AI in there. And you can see we've got some details just down here. If you want to share your wonderful setup with other people, you can just click on the share code button. And that is the experience code that other players need to put into the experience code option in the game. And away you go. You don't need to put the experience code in because it'll be listed under your experiences. If I go back to Battlefield Portal and browse the experiences now, you will see that that experience is listed on My Experiences just there. And I can go back and modify it if I want to, show the code, and it shows we've got 4 versus 0 players. And that's it. That is all you need to know to get your first server up and running. We'll just have a quick look in the game at this this very kind of basic game mode that we've set up, and you can see now that I'm back in the game, the option to select the sample for YouTube experience is now under the My Experiences. We can select that, click on host, and the game mode will start running for my friends to join. And why not, once you've got your code, why not get over to bfportal.gg and share your experiences with the website for others to play. And that's it for this video. If I have missed something out, if there is something that you desperately want to know, if you are new to Portal and there is something that I have not covered, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if this video was useful. Let me know if there's something else that you need me to cover as an absolute beginner, and I'll see what I can do to help you get started with Portal. If you found this video useful, please do click the like button, and if you have not done it already and you've got this far, please do smash the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. You can help me as I work my way towards this year's target of 2,000 subscribers. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see you later. Ta-ra.